What's up, FOA Squad? I'm Anthony, and welcome to our channel, Life with Anthony. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Happy whatever day I get to post this video for you guys. Now, about close to a month ago, I posted on our community page asking for some California road trip questions, and you guys sent in like 94, or at least there were at least 94 comments. Some of them were not questions. So I thought today I'll answer some of those questions. So let's get started. I have my second phone here as well with some questions on them, and I also wrote down some questions about a week and a half ago. So this video was much intended for me to make. Before I get into the questions, I went to Disneyland today. I had an amazing time. Started off kind of slow, but as soon as I started getting on rides and everything, I had such a great time, and I'll show you guys some clips of my Disneyland visit in the upcoming video as well. And I am also going to Universal Studios tomorrow on Wednesday, and I'll just add some of those clips to the one that I have for Disneyland. But I am having a great time because you guys know that one of the main reasons for me even coming here to California was to go to Disneyland and Universal Studios. So, having a great time. All right, the first question comes from Practical Practice with Geek W9400, and they ask, do you prefer scenic routes or sticking to the main highways? Well, on the way here, I took all main highways, which I love because I can utilize my iExit app, which I've mentioned to you guys before. I can know when the next exits are coming up, how far they are apart. It is a great help. And I also think that it will, for me personally, take some of the anxiety of the road trip away. Because if I was on like the scenic route, I probably would be worried about when the next gas station comes, this, that, and the other. And I'm not really that big on the scenic scene, so to speak. I think once I've said the oohs and ahs of it, that I kind of get over it, so to speak. And I much prefer the main highways route, because I just feel safer doing that route. Because I've seen some YouTubers who were on these like mountain routes and long routes and everything. They lose cell service and everything. Because to be honest, if I was on a road and I lost cell service, and oh my goodness, let me share this with you guys. When I left the Meetup in where was I? Phoenix. When I left the Meetup in Phoenix, my cell service was not working right, and my GPS was not working, and I did not know my way back to the hotel. So I went into a little small anxiety. One of the FOAs that I met, I text her and was like, my GPS is not working right now. How do I get back to my hotel? Because she was from Phoenix. And I just sat there for like 10 minutes and it just started working again. I don't know what happened. So I can see me on a much larger scale, and something like that happens, I would have such anxiety. So it's very important, no matter where I go, that I have cell service. You know, I've seen again some of the van lifers that I watch. They love being out in these places by themselves. They don't mind not having cell phone service for a minute or a few days. That's not me. I need to have my cell service. I need to have a sense of direction of how to get from point A to B, B to C, etc. So definitely major highways. Okay, Michelle Smith 8912 asks, would you recommend the Dodge Grand Caravan or some other minivan? I love this minivan. I do. It has been very good to me. You know, there's always a level of skepticism when you buy a used car, and you don't know the history of that used car, that used vehicle, and that to me is natural. But I have been taking care of this minivan since I've gotten it. I've been telling you guys, you've seen me go to Valvoline all the time, every 3,000 miles, and I've done everything so far that Valvoline has recommended me to do ever since I started using Valvoline as my primary oil change place. And I've gotten everything done to this point that they recommended that I get done. So the minivan has been riding great. It's an easy ride for me. I really, really enjoy driving this particular minivan, and it has not given me any problems. Except that one time, remember, I think it was last year, where it didn't start in the morning. I think it was like a month after I bought it, and the battery had died on it, and I had to walk to my storage facility. Thankfully, I was in PA at the time. I had to walk to my storage unit and get my battery starter that I had in my storage unit, and then walk back to the van. I was parked on the my Plan B parking spot, and other than that, nothing has. And do I have any wood? Do I have any wood? I got plenty of wood in here. Knock on wood. And this is my home. I have to keep it up. This is one of the most important things to me right now, is making sure that this minivan is mechanically sound, especially on this road trip, because I've been taking a minivan through the ringer, boy, with that 108-degree weather, riding through Phoenix and everything, Arizona and everything. So it has been performing very, very well. And I guess I can say I can recommend it, but that's just this particular vehicle that I have. You may purchase a Dodge Grand Caravan, and it might be a lemon. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen, but I'm just saying, you know, it goes from one vehicle to the next. I can say, oh yeah, this is a great minivan, I love it to death, and you might run out to CarMax and get one and have all kinds of problems, and then you be reaching out to me and giving me some choice words. Kind of busy around here today. Okay, the next question comes from Robin Perryman 6474. Some of you guys probably don't even remember these questions that you sent me. It's been that long since I posted that I was gonna have a Q&A. And Robin asks, you were feeling stressed about taking the trip alone. Do you feel differently now that you are on the road? You seem to be having a great time. I have, you know, eased down, you know, but right now, you know, if I would have done this Q&A, you know, maybe a couple of days after I started, my answer would be differently. But now that I have already made it to California, I feel good. I feel good, you know. I don't have any anxiety. I have a little anxiety about the California meetup because everybody has their own different opinion. I mean, I asked which mall to have it in, and then at the same time I had someone, Cassie, that was putting it together, didn't know that it was already together. I said I'm having it at the mall and did this, that, and the other. So that caused a little anxiety for me, and at the time I'm making this video, that meetup has not taken place yet. So I would say, and I think I mentioned this in one of my last two videos, that I had no anxiety the whole ride and whole road trip here to California. But when I got to California, you know, my anxiety level kind of went up a little bit. And everything from will my van with my storage unit on top be able to fit underneath the garage parking, or not the garage parking, but the structure parking that they have at the parks. Well, I didn't have any problem parking underneath at Disneyland. It was lots of height space, and I'm hoping the same will be at Universal Studios when I go there on tomorrow, Wednesday. And then, you know, the whole meetup thing, a lot of people who live here had some thoughts about, you know, the time of the meetup, the traffic, you know, and it's like, I'm like, look, I'm not from here. So I have to base it on Cassie, who is the person who, the FOA, who is putting it together. I'm not throwing no blame on Cassie or whatever. It's just going to be a case of it's going to work for some people and it's not going to work for others. But I'm hoping that the meetup turns out pretty good. This is the first time that I'm having a meetup at like an official restaurant. I mean, the noodle restaurants were official and everything, and it worked out. But as I mentioned before, I got used to having the meetups at the malls and the food court. It was easier, you know, people can buy something to eat if they want to. But this particular meetup coming up is at a restaurant, the outdoor patio, the outdoor part of it, and I'm a little worried at how it's going to turn out, but I guess you'll find out along with me. The next question is from, oh, and by the way, I am having an amazing time. The road trip itself, getting to California, I really enjoyed stopping in the places that I stopped for 2 or 3 days and hanging out in those places and meeting certain people along the way. I am having a really, really good time, and I'm so glad that I decided to do this type of trip. The next question is from Alexandria1315, and Alexandria asks, how is the traffic? How different is it for you to adjust to each city's driving style, considering that every city seems to have its own driving style? Driving hasn't been a problem for me at all. I consider myself to be a really good driver, a really cautious driver. I tend to, at times, unless it's super fast for me and my taste, go with the flow of traffic. There has been some freeways that have 5 lanes, and if I, at any point, which I don't recall at any point having any kind of like, oh boy, this traffic is very different from what I'm used to. And if I was to ever get that feeling, I would just probably move over to the slowest lane. And nowadays, the slowest lane, especially on these major cities and major highways, is just as fast as the other lanes are. But I was just, you know, it's all about just taking your time and everything. And then there's been a lot of times where I've just been on 2-lane roads, like going through Arizona and everything. But I haven't had any issues with adjusting to each city's driving. When I'm in a city, I try to move about when I know that the majority of people are at work, especially here in California, where they, you know, I looked up what are the busy hours, like in the morning from 7 to 10, and then from like 4 to 7 in the evening. So I try not to be out during those times of the day, but I haven't had any problems adjusting from city to city because I consider myself a very cautious driver. All right. The next question is from Lee Tuh, I believe it is. Excuse me if I mispronounced it. Okay, what are you most excited to see and do during your California trip? Well, of course, Disneyland and Universal Studios, but I've already gone to Disneyland. I went today. I had an amazing time once again. I felt like I did a lot there in a short period of time because when I got back to the hotel, it was early. Of course, I was at the park before the park opened. The park was actually only 16 minutes away from the hotel that I am staying in. And I didn't have to get on the freeway to get there. So I love that. And the same with coming back from the park to the hotel. I love that. Now tomorrow, going to Universal Studio is going to be a different story. It's a much longer drive, hopefully. I'm going to be out early like I was today, and hopefully I won't run into any traffic problems there. But yeah, I had such a great time. It started off a little slow, like I said, but once I got in there and once I like got on and off my first ride, I was really starting to enjoy being there more and more. The first 2 hours, because I got there so early when the park first opened, the first 2 hours, man, I started in Tomorrowland. I was just going from ride to ride and basically just standing in line probably like 5 minutes the longest to get on a ride. And then as it started getting later in the day or in the morning, I noticed that it was getting more and more crowded and my wait times were becoming more longer. But I think the longest I stayed in line was an hour. But prior to that particular ride, 30 minutes was the longest. And the lines were moving really fast. They were. I had no complaints whatsoever today about how the lines were moving, because even if it said up there I had it was a 60-minute wait, it didn't feel like it was 60 minutes because it was just constantly moving. The next question is from Karen Scott GC5KY, asks, what is the best new food that you have tried during your road trip? Well, that's an easy one. I had my first po' boy sandwich in Louisiana, which I thought was so good. And I also had my first taste of the boudin in Louisiana as well. And that has been really good. And since I got to California, I've actually been cooking in the hotel. I've been eating the hotel breakfast, which surprisingly is okay, and they have lots of variety. This hotel has the best breakfast so far out of all the hotels that I have been staying in during this road trip. So I have been taking advantage of it. I wouldn't say taking advantage of it. I mean, I'm paying to be here. So I have been going to breakfast. Not today because I left really early today, and probably not tomorrow neither because it's going to be another early day. But I have been taking advantage of eating the breakfast here. And other than Louisiana, I really haven't had anything out of the ordinary, especially since I've gotten here to California. I don't even know if California is known for a specific type of food or something. I'm not sure. I don't know. But definitely everybody knows about the different types of food that are known in Louisiana, and I had tried 3 of them. The shrimp gumbo soup, which was delicious, the boudin, which I tried for the first time. I love that. I'm gonna try to get some more of that shipped to me from somewhere, and also the po' boy sandwich. Now, I will say, it's not a food, but it's a drink. It was a drink that David and Lucera, I know forgive me, you know who I'm talking about. You came to the Phoenix Meetup. Lucera. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I apologize. And I got it right the first time when I was at the rest stop. They sent me a, it's in a hotel. They sent me 2 cans of the Coco Rico flavored coconut drink. And I drank one of them the day before yesterday. Oh my God, I absolutely loved it. Oh my gosh. I wish I had more than 2 of them. I still have 1 more left, and I'm kind of like, woo, don't know when to drink it yet. But it was absolutely delicious. It was ice cold because it had been in my refrigerator for days, and I have not opened up my refrigerator. So it has been really cold, and oh man, it was so good. I actually looked for it at Walmart when yesterday when I stopped at Walmart, and I didn't see it in Walmart though, but I'm going to find some of that drink. It was so good. And it was something, again, that I have never tried before, so it was really good. Let me see if that's the last one that I wrote down. I do have my phone here where, okay, we're not doing no Face ID. Okay, let me see if I can find. All right, this one is from Successful 6, and they ask, I am wondering, will you visit the Redwood Forest? I think that is in Northern California, if I'm not mistaken, like somewhere in the San Francisco area or a little beyond this San Francisco area. And I am not visiting that part of California this time around. And I have been to San Francisco before and did the whole tourist thing. I did the Alcatraz tour. I did the Golden State Bridge. I did the famous Winding Road, which I think I mentioned this before. It's called Prospect Road. I did the night scene there because I went with 2 other friends. So I did California before, Northern California before. So I'm not going to make it up that way this trip. Okay. Michelle Smith 8912 asks, while traveling on this road trip, what is the first thing you do when you get to a new town or city? Well, the first thing I do, and since I am hoteling it this entire trip, or I'm not going to say this entire trip, but I'll say from when I started to getting to California, I check in. And basically I relax because it is probably that day involves some driving and, you know, different hours of driving. So I feel differently getting from one place to the next. So I try to relax, and it also depends on what time of day I arrive from one place to the next. And I just kind of relax, and I get on my laptop and check out some videos, and just I'm in relaxation mode. And if there's something that I'm going to do, I plan it to begin the next day. Okay. This one is from Buddy69Love. Okay, if you could travel across country with any celebrity, who would it be and why? Now, I had to think about this question, boy, because I was like, Okay, first of all, any road trip of mine is either going to be consist of 2 things, or one of each, or a combination of the 2. And that is, I would want my road trip with this particular person to be either funny and we laughing the whole entire time and cracking up and just having a great time, or I would want this road trip to be with someone that we're singing and having a great time just singing. And, you know, even though I can't sing, but if I had to choose and be on this road trip with someone that is one of my favorite singers, then I would be singing it away. So now I figured that I would go with a singer, because a comedian, I couldn't think at the time which comedian what I would like to go on a road trip with. So it was easier for me to choose a singer. Now, of course, it would have been, without a doubt, it would have been Salt and Pepper. It would have, without a doubt, because I know so many, well, I don't know about now, but back in the days, I knew just about the lyrics to just about every Salt and Pepper song. But the problem I had with choosing Salt and Pepper is, it's 2 of them, and I don't know which one I want to have, you know, ride shotgun. You know, Salt or Pepper. Hey, maybe Spinderella. Okay, I left out Spinderella, but Salt, Pepper, and Spinderella. Yeah, so it's 3 of them. So it'd be like, okay, who rides shotgun, you know? So I kind of like, okay, I won't choose them. And I chose the lead singer from one of my favorite groups. He parted from the group and did a couple of solo albums as well after the group. And that would be Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20. Love that group. And it would be Rob Thomas, because that is another group that I know just about all the lyrics, or once knew all the lyrics to their songs. I have all their albums or CDs, or I used to have them on my phone. I used to have a playlist of their songs as well on my phone, but I tend to switch up my playlist and get rid of something, and then when I start to get back in the mood of it, I make another playlist of it and put it back on. But it would definitely be Rob Thomas, because I would have a blast going on a road trip with him and singing a lot of the songs that Matchbox 20 had out, as well as his solo albums. I thought about an actor, but then I thought, and if it was an actor, it would be Jared Leto, because Jared Leto is, without a doubt, I mentioned this to you guys before, Jared Leto is without a doubt one of my favorite all-time actors, and it would be with him. But I see his personality, and I'm like, I'm not sure if that would make for a fun road trip or not. He seems a little calm and subdued and everything, you know, and I would either again want to be laughing the whole way or singing the whole way or something like that. All right, let's see what else we have. All righty. All right, let's see. Okay, this is from, okay, I've already had that one. I've already did this one. Okay, this might be it. This one is from Janice Mays 3598, and Janice asks, will you be going to the San Diego Zoo? It's truly amazing. So many of you have asked me, am I going to the San Diego Zoo? I have been to the San Diego Zoo once before. It was many years ago. I'm not sure if I want to go back there. And someone else said that they had a different part, maybe like a safari part as well. But I don't know. I don't know if I will have the time to go back, because I'm changing up when I go to San Diego. I'm adding San Diego to the end of my California stay, meaning that I was going to be leaving this hotel on Saturday, but I think I'm going to, well, since I think I'm going to keep things as they are, because there was some thoughts of having this California, Los Angeles meetup on Saturday instead of during the week, but that's not happening so far. It's still planned for the week. So I might keep my original plan, which is to leave. Well, this wasn't my original plan, because I had planned on going to San Diego during the week as a day trip. Just drive the 2 hours down there, hang out, have a meetup, and come back. But then I decided that would be too much in one day for me, and that I'll just add the 2 days on at the end of the week, which means I'll leave here, Anaheim, on Saturday, and then go to San Diego, spend the day in San Diego, have a meetup on Sunday, which still would not interfere in my football, because football starts 10 o'clock in the morning on this side of the town, on this side of the United States. So I would still be able to watch the first set of games and some of the second part, because I would have the meetup probably later on, not as late as I have been having it because it's on a Sunday, but you know, it'll be earlier. And someone mentioned, I think Brian from Adventure Van Man mentioned a couple of parks that he feels, because I know he's from San Diego, he feels will be a good place to have a meetup. So I am still working on that place to have the San Diego meetup, and it will be on this upcoming Sunday. Okay, KC Press 822 asks, what is your expectations for the trip? Really, my expectations for this road trip is to experience some cities and states that I have never been to before, experience some different foods, of course, but my main drive for this trip was definitely to come to California and go to Disneyland. During that process, I found and learned that there was a Universal Studios here as well, which wasn't even on my mind when I originally thought to take this trip. So, and now I've added that to it. So it was definitely to come on this side of town, I keep on saying town, come on this side of the West Coast to go to Disneyland, Universal Studios, and to have one or two meetups while I am on this side. So those were my main reasons of taking this road trip. Now, I could have very well have flown here, rented a car, and did all the things that I wanted to do here. But I have the time, and I decided that, you know, it would be fun to take my time and drive to California, stop in different places that I've never been. So far, I've stopped in, let me see, how many places I have never been. I've never been to Raleigh before. I've been to Louisiana several times, but not that part of Louisiana. I've been to, I haven't been to Phoenix. I've been to Houston, of course, once. I had a meetup there last year. So let me see, Raleigh, Raleigh, Arizona, two parts of Arizona I haven't been to. I've never been to Williams, and I've never been to Phoenix. And Anaheim, California, I've never been here. It's in like the Fullerton area. I love that area when I was driving through it to get to Disneyland. So that was pretty good. But overall, I've been to California before, so I haven't really stopped in that many places. Oh, New Mexico. I've never been to New Mexico. So it's 3 new places that I have never been to, 3 new cities thus far that I have never been to. So hopefully there'll be a couple more on the way back that I have never gone to if I decide to take a different route back. Because I actually was thinking about going the same way and going to different gay campgrounds, because there are a few gay campgrounds along the way back. But we'll see which way I decide to go back and for what reason. This is from Miss Mato and Missy Mato ask, hello there. Would you consider a stop in Las Vegas for ramen? And a follow-up question, have you tried and do you like the pho soup? It's pronounced pho soup. Okay, the pho soup. I'm not going to make it to, I don't know. Because here's the thing, if I go to Las Vegas, I need to go to the shows. I've been to Vegas 3 times already. And for me, when I go to Vegas, it's all about me going to shows. I love the illusion show type shows with the music and ta-da and the tricks and all that kind of stuff. I love, of course, the oh my God, the Circus Soleil's there. I've probably seen just about all the Circus Soleil's there, the ones that I have interest in seeing. So for me, I would need a few days to be there, and I don't have that time to go to Las Vegas right now without being able to go to a lot of the shows. And I mean a lot of the shows. When I go, I tell y'all, when I go to Vegas, I told you I've been to Vegas like 3 times. For me, it was all about going to the shows and everything. And I don't have that time to do that right now. And if I was to go to Vegas, it would be if it's showing up on my GPS as a part of my route going back, it's probably just going to be going straight through or keeping on route to coming back. All right, I think that's going to be enough for now. Here's another one from Litu, T-U-H. Would you have or ever been interested in going on The Price is Right or Let's Make a Deal while in Cali? You know what? I may have been interested in going back in the days, pre-COVID days, where the audience was like huge and big and exciting. And nowadays, since COVID and everything, it's like the audience have shrunk. It just looked like, I don't know, it just looked like it's staged differently and it looks different. And the feeling of it is not as exciting as it was pre-COVID days for me. So I probably would not be interested in going and doing that. All right, let me see. All right, I think that's going to be it for today's Q&A, California Q&A. Once again, I am having a great time. So glad that I am doing this. And before I end this video, I just want to say this. This channel means a lot to me. Our community means a lot to me because I was thinking about this a couple of days ago, or it could have been during my drive here to California. And I thought, you know, when my time is up on this earth and I join my mom in heaven, I am going to leave behind such a great history of from when I started my YouTube channel to now, or whenever my time is up. And I feel like that's, you know how some people say that their legacy, so to speak, or whatever. I'm going to be leaving behind like so many great memories and from this channel that I have here, that we have here, the community here. And I thought, man, I got to make this really, really good, because this is going to be a big part of what I'm leaving behind. And this is going to be, quote unquote, my legacy for my life, or a certain part of my life, you know. So I'm very proud of this channel, this community, you guys, and the support and the makeup of our community. We are all grown folks here. I've said this so many times on the channel, and I'm really proud of the FOA community, and we getting it done now. But anywho, that's going to be a wrap for today's video. As always, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch my videos. I appreciate you guys, you know that, and I'll see you guys the next time.